What's up, everybody? We have got an exciting matchup for y'all today. This is gonna be our yellow Terran spawning in the bottom left of Beckett Industries, Kevin Lee, and his opponent, normally maining Terran but playing as the pink Protoss. It's bbbbreed. So, both players not playing their main race. As I said before, bbbbreed, normally a Terran player. Kevin Lee, normally a Zerg player. So both players off racing. And they have played this matchup once before. And bbbbreed did run away with the victory that time with a proxy Stargate into mass carriers and void rays. But in general, I would give the advantage to Kevin because I do think he does off race a little more frequently than bbbbreed, which is why the last result was quite shocking. But was it a fluke? We are going to find out, as we do see barracks followed by factory out of Kevin, and gateway followed by cybernetics core for bbbbreed. Pretty standard there, although double gas, so that does imply some kind of tech heavy strategy out of bbbbreed, and he is going for a proxy pylon. So I think he might be going for the same thing as last time, proxy Stargate perhaps. And let's see what he's going to throw down here. Kevin, however, he is getting a Reaper, and that's going to be able to fly across the map pretty quickly. And bbbbreed doesn't really have too much back at home. He is getting a Stalker, which will be very helpful against that Reaper. But will it be out in time? And indeed, he is going for that proxy Stargate. Couple of shield batteries as well that will help heal up the void rays. I expect to see void rays, but I'm not sure. The Reaper's gonna hop in. Gonna spot that Stalker, take a couple of shots, and I don't think the Reaper will really find too much damage here. Throws down a grenade just to be a little bit annoying, but not gonna get any probe kills. And oh, it did go down in fact, so a bit of a mistake from Kevin with his micro on that Reaper, losing it. But Kevin does have his expansion up. No expansion yet out of bbbbreed. He is getting his first Void Ray, chrono boosting it out. And is he gonna go straight in with one Void Ray, or is he gonna wait for multiple? Looks like he might be waiting. I don't mind that. However, Kevin doesn't really have any anti-air yet, so single Void Ray could do a lot. Two, however, can do twice as much, as long as Kevin doesn't have any anti-air. Now, the SCV has scouted this, so bbbbreed does need to go, and he needs to go now. Kevin gonna start up a couple missile turrets, and bbbbreed, your window is closing. He's waiting too long. Now these missile turrets are gonna be able to get up. Vikings gonna be able to get up. Although Vikings not the best counter to Void Rays, as Void Rays have their prismatic alignment ability, which deals bonus damage to armored. Gonna fly in now, spot the Vikings and missile turrets, and yeah, he definitely missed his window there. Now these missile turrets are up. He's not really gonna be able to find too much damage. Don't think. Does get one Viking. Might get a second one. No, doesn't get that. Might get this reactor. That's nice. Might get this starport as well. And only 3 Vikings, but gonna be enough to push him back, at least for now, to his shield batteries to heal up those shields. And Kevin gonna be pulling some SCVs for the repair, I think. Lands his Vikings to deal with that Stalker. I didn't even see that walk in there. How did he get there? So maybe that SCV pull was just to get away from the Stalker, but now he is indeed using them to repair. And bbbbreed continuing to pump out Void Rays. He is dropping his 2nd and 3rd base before even saturating that. And back at home he has another Stargate. Not really utilizing it. Not really utilizing his first one either. And Kevin just continuing to pump out Vikings. He's gonna have 8 now, which is formidable, but you don't really want to fight with the shield batteries. Max energy on those as well, so they're gonna be able to recharge those Void Rays pretty quickly. And I know I said Vikings aren't the best against Void Rays, however, with this amount, they can do pretty well. And Vikings are a little bit cheaper than Void Rays. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think they only cost like 75 gas compared to Void Rays, which cost 150 gas. So I do think with this amount, how many is that? 11 Vikings, and continuing to pump out 2 at a time. And as soon as this reactor finishes, he'll be able to pump out 4 at a time. And that's going to be enough to deal with these Void Rays. Only 6 of them right now. 7th one coming out. But yeah, I think bbbbreed might be in some trouble. That's a lot of Vikings, and look how quickly they just blast down the Void Rays. The numbers definitely in favor of the Terran player at the moment. However, bbbbreed sitting on 3 bases. Yes, he's not fully saturated, but that's triple chrono boost, triple probe production, and what is this? Kevin going for a Viking counter-attack gambit, if you will, leaving his base relatively undefended. They're gonna go for some harassment. He'll be able to land these Vikings and get a lot of damage. Now, does bbbbreed know how to recall? I don't think he does. He could recall his units for the defense, but instead he is slowly flying back. Gonna lose 18 workers. Gonna lose a bunch of his infrastructure back at home. Now finally the Void Rays have arrived back at home, activating their prismatic alignment. Who's gonna win this fight? I don't know. It looks like the Void Rays gonna be able to clean up the Vikings, but has the damage been done? 40 SCVs to 33 probes, so Kevin does have the advantage in the economy, at least for now. But once again, bbbbreed with the triple probe production, he can triple chrono boost those as well, and he still has a pretty sizable air fleet. Kevin's has been diminished back down to 8. As these 8 Vikings are going to try to defend, to pick off one of the Void Rays. Bunch of Zealots, not really sure what they want to do, and now bbbbreed goes for the engagement while half the Vikings, more than half the Vikings, are landed to deal with the Zealots, but no, bbbbreed cannot commit with those missile turrets there. So a single sentry and a stalker are going to be working away at this wall, and they are going to get this barracks actually. It's not something you see every day, and gonna continue onto this factory. bbbbreed has already reclaimed the worker lead, back up to 46 now. And Kevin, I don't know if he knows what to do. He's continuing to get Vikings, which I guess is the best he can do right now. And yeah, if he gets a lot of them, perhaps he can contend with this air fleet of the Protoss. But the bigger story is these 3 bases almost fully saturated. Needs to transfer some of these, or maybe put them back into gas here. In addition, bbbbreed has the +1 air attack. He has +1 defense on the way as well. Bunch of scans going down. That smells to me like desperation. How much does my opponent have? How behind am I? And I don't think Kevin is too happy with what he is seeing. He does see that his opponent is on 3 bases, he's only still on 2. And his main base gonna be mining out soon. There's only 4 mineral patches remaining. Not too much on these patches either. And bbbbreed just continuing to work on his economy, work on his upgrades, throwing down some more gateways as well. So it doesn't look like he wants to fully go crazy with the air, but at the same time he doesn't have warp gate just yet, so he's slowly making these zealot and stalkers and other gateway units, whatever. He's instead using his cybernetics core for the air upgrades. He does have warp gate queued up, however. 5 Hellions, gonna go for a slight counterattack, do some damage to that Nexus, but decide to move on to the minerals at the 3rd, and they are gonna get a bunch of probes. Oh, that shot was juicy. 15 probes going down so far. And is he gonna get some more? 18, and oh no, only 18 it looks like. Oh no, 19, okay. But despite 19 probe losses, bbbbreed's still with the worker lead. 50 probes to 40 SAVs, now 53. But that did force bbbbreed to pull all his units back. So this proxy location is undefended now. If Kevin could recognize that, he could go and take that out. But wow, look at that. 29 Vikings, and this is what I said before. If he continues to mass Vikings, he has a chance. Despite Vikings not being the best counter to Void Rays, 29 of them against 8 Void Rays and 9 Stalkers, I would take the Vikings any day of the week. And he is getting 1-1 on those as well. That's going to help him to match up with the 1-1 of bbbbreed. And so we might be seeing a super late game. Kevin has had the chance to throw down his 3rd now, but at the same time bbbbreed has his 4th and even 5th coming up. So economy still in favor of the Protoss, but the army, I don't know. I think 33 Vikings will just obliterate the air, and then if he lands, I think he can take the ground as well. A lesser known fact, the Vikings ground attack deals bonus damage to mechanical units, which are essentially all Protoss units. I don't know if that's true, but Stalkers for sure are mechanical. And this is a primarily Stalker-centric army. So I don't really know how this goes. A couple sentries in here should be activating their shields, but now all these Vikings, they do land, and how's this gonna go? They haven't entirely cleaned up the air just yet. That's a bit of a mistake, perhaps? Question mark? as those Void Rays gonna have free reign, so he does lift the Vikings back up. Gonna try to clean up the Void Rays. Is gonna get them finally, but what is the damage so far? Only 19 Vikings remaining against 21, and suddenly it doesn't look that great anymore. Stalker's gonna clean up this third base, at least most of the SCVs. Landed Vikings gonna do their best, and I'm not really sure how this fight goes, so we're just gonna watch it play out. The Concave favoring the Terran just a little bit, and yeah, indeed, he is going to be able to clean up all the Stalkers at the cost of 13 SCVs. So yes, it was a hold, but now 36 SCVs to 78 probes, and bbbbreed, he has so much money, he's so rich, he's on 5 bases. Even if he finally loses this position, which it looks like he will, he still has all this back at home. His warp gate did finish. He's gonna warp in some more Stalkers. Still has that one Stargate. However, he is gonna need some more production facilities. This is all he has, 8 gateways, and we see that his production can't really keep up with his mining, as he is mining on 4 basis. So he's floating a lot of money. This base is very undersaturated, and this base very oversaturated, so kind of strange there. But Kevin going for the counter attack, maybe? No, flies into some cannons, decides to turn away. Going for this base instead. Gonna land now, and gonna massacre these probes. Oh no, they didn't stand a chance. And now gonna turn his guns towards this Nexus. Gonna pick that off. bbbbreed positioning his army back to deal with that. Shows up with a bunch of Stalkers, a couple Void Rays, and that's gonna force Kevin back. And oh no, the angle! Gonna lose a couple Vikings unnecessarily. These air units with their V names is really tripping me up. I keep saying Void Rays, I keep saying Vikings for the wrong person. But I guess that was a nice pickoff. Gets the base, all the probes. Supply count still favoring bbbbreed, however. He is up 40 supply. 14 of that gonna be in the army. But Kevin is closing the gap, however. And he is just continuing to mass up Vikings. Stalkers show up once again at the third base, gonna destroy a bunch of the SCVs. These Vikings are gonna blast those Void Rays out of the sky. But this Stalker army, quite scary. I don't know if you really want to fight that just yet. Vikings landed, but that's gonna at least push bbbbreed back. Kevin landing a couple mules for the repair as well, and he does have this base, which is actually his main base, floated over, so you can't really count that as a fourth necessarily, as he no longer has his first. But 2-2 on the way, almost done for the Vikings. Third getting re-established, and Kevin finally switching things up a little bit, getting some Thors. I don't know if he's going to continue making Vikings. Maybe he's recognizing that bbbbreed has abandoned the air. bbbbreed, what is he doing? He's just continuing to get Stalkers, it looks like. And with a ton of minerals, again, I wouldn't mind just seeing like 10 more gateways being thrown down. He can warp in, what, 8 Stalkers at a time, and that barely makes a dent in his resources. So why not throw down some more gateways? warp in like 20 zealots at a time, and that would be really hard to deal with. But bbbbreed with his, how many is that? 44 stalkers, poised to make an attack right now. Not sure what he's waiting for, as he's going for a dark shrine at home. Where is that? Dark shrine. He does have the Twilight Council, of course, but not getting blink or charge or anything like that. A couple sentries in the army. I'm curious why bbbbreed has added those. I mean, yeah, they're good with their guardian shield, force fields, but I haven't seen him use those. So, again, not sure why, but he is finally moving in for the attack. Gonna take out this base pretty quickly, but his army a bit disjointed. A few of the stalkers fighting the army, a few were taking out the base. Now, finally, they're all focused on the army. And how is this fight gonna go? I think it's gonna heavily favor the Protoss player. Or maybe not that heavily, as the Vikings pretty much all get cleaned up. They do all get cleaned up, and the Thor's gonna go down as well. But only, what is that, 10, 11 stalkers remaining. But that might just be enough to end the game right here and right now. This one Thor doing its best. Two more on the way, but they are not ready. And Stalker's gonna walk in. Kevin forced to pull his SCVs, abandon his natural. Stalker's gonna get into the main base as well. Kevin doesn't really know what to make. He's making more Vikings, but that's not what he needs. What does he need? Honestly, I don't know. Thors, yeah, they can do okay, but two of them, I don't think that's enough. Yeah, actually, they're going to clean up this small stalker army. But back at home, bbbbreed sitting on 6 bases. He's continuing to warp in stuff. He does have 4 more gateways here, another one there, so that's gonna help a little bit more on the production. And Kevin down to 40 supply, bbbbreed at 130 almost, still with an almost 8k bank, and GG gets called. bbbbreed gonna once again take the victory and prove that the first game was not a fluke. Welcome back, folks. This is game number 2 in this series, at least for the day. And our green Protoss currently leading is bbbbreed up against the yellow Terran, Kevin Lee. So, bbbbreed, in his second time playing Protoss, has once again taken a game off of kevinnleeeeeee, who does have experience playing Terran. And I had originally given the edge to Kevin, but after that game, perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps bbbbreed has been practicing behind the scenes, or maybe Protoss is just that powerful. I don't know, but that was another rather dominant performance out of bbbbreed, and Kevin, maybe he just doesn't know what to do against Void Rays. I do think the Mass Vikings was a okay decision, but then the tech switch into Stalkers really got him there. So yeah, bbbbreed showing that he can do more than air. He can go for the ground warp gate tech as well, and that's going to give Kevin a lot to think about. He's going to start things off with a Reaper once again. And bbbbreed, he is, well, not too much variation in the early game for Protoss, but he is getting double assimilators, and he is once again going for a proxy pylon, and this might get spotted real quick. Yes, indeed it does. Not sure about that position. That was definitely a little bit questionable. It's like right in the path of any units that might be coming out, so yeah, definitely a poor decision there. And I was going to send another probe out, but the Reaper's going to come in. Stalker almost done, does pop out, so is going to be able to defend against that Reaper. Don't think it's going to go down this game. And yeah, going back to this pylon, definitely not the ideal location for it, but bbbbreed, he's going to double down on this. He's still going for that proxy Stargate. Oh no, changed his mind now that the Reaper is blasting away. But if he wanted to do this proxy thing again, I think he could have gone for like over here perhaps. Or maybe if he expected the Reaper come this way, maybe just put it like up here or something. But no, indeed, he is doubling down on this proxy Stargate once again. But it has been heavily delayed, and I don't think it's going to be too successful this game. Kevin going for the air rush of his own, getting 2 starport Banshees with cloak, and these Banshees already on their way, halfway done on the first one. Stargate not even done yet. Both players are getting their expansions, but I think once the Banshees show up, that's gonna be lights out. There's no detection, there is no forge to get cannons, there's no robotics facility to get observers. Banshee gonna show up now and reveal Kevin's hand. This is gonna give some time for bbbbreed to react back at home. And fighting in the presence of these shield batteries might be a little bit questionable. Lands a mule to try to repair, but another questionable decision there as it gets taken out very quickly. And now the counter potential is pretty much closed, as bbbbreed getting his forge up, you'll be able to get cannons very soon, and Kevin forced to repair these Banshees up before he can really do anything. And now he's going for Vikings once again, and this has gotten weird. I had thought Kevin could have straight up won the game if he went across and just went to deal damage using those Banshees, but instead he tried to go for this proxy, and now he's in a tough spot. No missile turrets back at home. Only 2 Vikings, 3 now. So the Void Rays gonna have free reign on the SCVs in the main. Kevin does pull them, and poor control out of bbbbreed. Loses 1 Void Ray for free. Tries to back up to his shield battery, but it is unpowered. So all of a sudden, things are looking better for Kevin once again. And yeah, this has been kind of teetering back and forth. I thought bbbbreed might have had an opening there after the Banshees wasted their time here. But then I don't really know. He went for the main, and then with some poor control lost the fight there, losing 1 Void Ray for free, and now he only has 1 Void Ray remaining. Few Stalkers back at home might be able to push back the Banshees for now. This pylon is vulnerable, however, and yeah, Kevin just gonna go for it. Does take out that pylon, so it unpowers the cannon and opens things up. Gonna allow the Banshees to actually hold on. They are out of energy. Still gonna be able to kill all the Stalkers, however. Vikings on the backup, gonna be able to land, and is this gonna be GG? Single cannon for the defense, not gonna be enough, as the landed Vikings and Banshees in the air gonna absolutely ravage this natural Protoss base. Banshees take a peek into the main to see if they can get any damage, but bbbbreed desperately throwing down some more cannons, so he might be okay for now, but make no mistake, folks, this is a very bad position for bbbbreed. That's what the BB stands for in this map, at least. 2 bases for the Terran. Still no orbital on this. I've noticed that a few times out of Kevin, who does have the money for it. A lot of money. But not really utilizing it, not producing all too much. Focused here with his army, but I don't think he can really go for any type of bust here. There's just too many cannons. So bbbbreed gonna drag this out. Gonna do his best to survive, and Kevin, he's gonna be forced to come up with something else, and that's gonna be a fusion core. What? Huh? I don't know why he lifted up his starports, which were already on Tech Labs, just so he can land them here and produce more Tech Labs. And it's not like he's making additional starports here either, so... Huh? That's weird. But okay. Whatever. Kevin now with 2 starports and 4 Tech Labs. These 2 obviously not doing anything. 5 Tech Labs rather. Siege tank being produced on that one. And despite the fusion core being done, Kevin does not really have the gas. Maybe if you saved the gas from these Tech Labs, Kevin. But yeah, gonna start producing battle cruisers. He has a siege tank on the defense. Gonna siege that up. And bbbbreed going for the Desperation Hail Mary gold base. I like that move. He recognizes he is pretty far behind, so he needs to do something a little dramatic to try to get himself back into the game. Going for the gold base, getting some cannons up, and I like this as well. Immediately transferring a handful of probes. How many is that? I don't know. But it's going to be enough. 13 out of 12 here, according to this count. So that's gonna help if he can keep this up, keep mining from it for a few minutes. And Dark Shrine DTs, as the ancient proverb goes, when behind, Dark Shrine. And what does Kevin have? He does not have any missile turrets. However, he is floating a lot of energy on his command centers, and that's going to enable the scans, of course. Vikings moving out in the middle of the map, going to spot, well, not really spot the DTs, but if he was paying attention, he could perhaps see the little blip as you see that blur there. DTs making their way in, gonna start cutting down the tanks. Do get 3 of them. Now they're gonna get working on the SCVs, but gonna try to avoid the scan, and does not avoid it completely. 5 SCVs down, and bbbbreed, not sure what else he can do. He's already tipped his hand with the DTs. So Kevin now going to be able to get missile turrets. Here, 1 missile turret. He should probably get 1 for his 3rd and 4th as well. But bbbbreed's going to need to come up with something else. DTs were a good idea, and I think there's still a window for them if he goes for the 3rd and 4th base. However, he is just keeping them at home, trying to get his old 2nd backup, which is actually his 4th now, and getting his 3rd as well. This gold has gone pretty much unpunished, but Kevin also getting his gold as well. And things are looking rough for bbbbreed. Now, they have been looking rough for the past few minutes. Mules being dropped on the gold base, which is actually not the best thing to do because mules on regular minerals mine more than SCVs. However, mules on gold minerals actually mine the same as SCVs. So, not really the best use, but I mean, let's be honest, Kevin's sitting on 4 bases. He's very rich. He's up 80 supply, so he can't really make any mistakes, really. I mean, he'll have to really mess things up to allow bbbbreed back into this game. And now these Vikings gonna fly in. They're gonna be able to land on this base. Gonna take out the pylon and then work on the Nexus. Is bbbbreed even able to defend? A few DTs without a scan. I guess they're gonna be able to clean up the Vikings. But Kevin didn't want them anyways. Kevin just wanted to throw those away to free up supply. Maybe. But he has been silently massing up battle cruisers. 8 of them so far. Oh my goodness. And whenever he decides, he can just teleport them in, blast down the cannons real quick, and then just destroy the Protoss base. Or teleport them in another base, or slowly fly them in to keep the teleport to get out of there. But I don't think bbbbreed really has the counter to 8 battle cruisers. Only 12 stalkers out on the map for the Protoss. Now DTs, they're gonna make their way into Kevin's 3rd. Gonna be able to get some SCVs, 9 SCVs going down very quickly. DT's very strong, but I don't know about wasting time on this base. I guess if Kevin doesn't lift it off, which he doesn't, that's a good pickoff. Gonna make his way up to the... Nope, just kidding. And like I said, teleporting into the main, all the cannons have been blasted down. Stalkers desperately doing their best to defend the Protoss base, but Yamato's going down. No more Stalkers remaining, and I would expect a GG any second now. The DT is running all the way back home, but why though? They can't hit up. And yeah, the battle cruisers just doing their thing. Just cruising all over bbbbreed's face. Down to 73 supply. Some SCVs showing up to, I don't know, add insult to injury? Yeah, they're just gonna go for a citizen's arrest on the Stalkers. Of course, they're not gonna be able to kill the Stalkers, but who cares when there are 9 battle cruisers? The main base of the Protoss player, non-existent now. Well, minus these. And Kevin probably thinking, why no leave? As these 3 DTs running all the way back to the Terran side once again, gonna try to do some damage. But yeah, even if they take out this base and this base, I mean, there's no way they're getting into here. Now the battle cruisers setting their sights for the other remaining bases of the Protoss player. And there's not much to say here. The battle cruisers are just gonna steamroll everything. And if this game was a Spider-Man villain, it would be Carnage, because these battle cruisers are absolutely demolishing everything. And GG finally gets called. Kevin gonna be able to tie up this series 1-1. Welcome back, folks. This is the third and final game in this best of 3 series between our yellow Terran Kevin Lee and the green Protoss bbbbreed. So game number 2, Kevin went for double starport Banshees, which got him an early lead, and then he rolled that over to a mass battle cruiser demolition, essentially, of the Protoss. But don't forget, bbbbreed went for his proxy Stargate, which got scouted very early. The positioning of that was not the best, and so it delayed it very much, and that set him behind quite a lot. So We'll see if he tries to go for proxy stargates once again. But it looks like he's opening 2 gateway this time, which is different. Kevin gonna be going for the low ground barracks. Relatively early gas, which is gonna allow him to get a factory pretty shortly after this. Let's go for a Reaper first. And first gateway is completed, second gateway is completed. Cybernetics core coming down as well. And there goes the factory getting dropped. Second refinery as well. And once again, bbbbreed sending out a probe. Doing some sneaky stuff. Where's he going? Ooh, in this kind of back of the gas at this potential third location. Kevin, he was moving out with the Reaper and decides to go for a scout. Is he gonna spot it? Oh.
Add-on complete.
He did spot the probe, but I don't know if he was looking, and that's actually gonna help bbbbreed. He hadn't placed the pylon just yet, so when Kevin looks at the mini-map, he's not going to see it. And so as far as he's aware, there's nothing shady going down. And oh no. Is that going to be how this game is decided? If he was paying attention, he would have spotted the probe. But we are not seeing a Stargate this time. In fact, it's a gateway, so it's going to be a gateway rush, perhaps. Warp gate research is coming. I would like to see a chrono boost on that. Lots of energy on the Nexus, especially if you're going for an aggressive rush type of build. Just chrono boost the gateway, warp gate rather. Now Kevin, he is getting his, he does have a siege tank. He is getting stim for his marines, so it's going to be relatively standard from both players. I mean, yes, bbbbreed has this proxy. Reaper took out 2 probes back here, but yes, I was saying bbbbreed has this proxy, but it's going to be a gateway army versus a barracks bio army. So pretty standard, but siege tank is just so vital in the defense, and Kevin going for the scout, gonna miss it again. Oh my goodness. But I don't think it matters. Even if bbbbreed were to go for an attack, a frontal attack, siege tank is just gonna be way too solid in the defense. And starport going down with a reactor, additional barracks with an engineering bay coming down for the upgrades, or maybe just for missile turrets, not too sure just yet. Once again, delaying his second orbital. And is this base misplaced? I think it's like 1 hex up. Looks a little strange, doesn't it? Reaper gonna run in once again, gets another probe, and is he gonna get a 4th? Yes, he is. Wow, this Reaper with 4 kills, but hold on. Yeah, the gateway army, like I said, gonna try to run in, but the tank doing some significant damage. This one stalker, very damaged, but the control has been decent from bbbbreed, keeping all his units alive as we see no kills from this siege tank. It does force out a stim as well, look at that, which does 10 damage to all of these marines. So I guess things are gonna kind of even out, or rather slow down neither player, I don't think, can really force a fight with the other. So bbbbreed gonna go home, it looks like. And Kevin gonna go for some medevacs. Is he gonna try a cheeky drop? Maybe. But yeah, let's look at these base placements once again. As you can see, this orbital, it looks nice and centered over that circular thing on the map, whereas this nexus is not. So yeah, definitely misplaced, isn't it? Bit of an error there. The probes are gonna mine just a little less efficiently from these 5 mineral patches, I guess. These 3 probably is the same. Supply count pretty even. Worker count pretty even. But of course the Terran has mules, so it should be favoring the Terran just a little bit. bbbbreed gonna be the one to get his 3rd first, however. But Kevin with his bio tank army. This is a very scary looking army. bbbbreed only has stalkers and zealots, which is pretty standard, to be honest. Oh no, one zealot stuck here. Poor guy. But Dark Shrine coming down as well once again. And Kevin, he does have his engineering base, so he can make missile turrets, but he only has the 1 in his main base, none in the natural. So just this in the main base. So the natural is ripe for the pickings. But of course Terran has scans. And he does have energy on this orbital. Looks like Kevin wants to move out, perhaps. He does have a substantial army supply lead. 72 for the Terran, 38 for the Protoss. So if and when these armies fight, it's gonna look pretty bad for the Protoss, I would say. And he doesn't really have too much tech behind this. There's no charge, there's no blink, there's no Colossus or High Templars or anything. One thing he has going for him is the Dark Shrine tech. However, I mean, a scan could just easily deal with those, but oh, a couple of mules being dropped, so Dark Templar is gonna have free reign for a while. Only 1 Dark Templar on the map so far. bbbbreed gonna be supply blocked, so this is all he has to make the defense, and oh no, Dark Templar gonna dispatch of that tank, but this Terran army is just too massive. Gonna stim in, take out all the stalkers and zealots, and now it's gonna have total control. Scan goes down to dispatch of these 3 Dark Templars, and bbbbreed with 4 army supply remaining is gonna be forced to GG, and Kevin is going to take this series in the end. What's up, folks? Our next series is going to be another TVP, at least for now, and they might change up later on. It's going to be our green Terran, Mr. Timbo Slice, against our orange Protoss once again, bbbbreed. So bbbbreed has shown us that he can at least keep up as a Protoss. Timbo, his Terran, I don't know. It's a little questionable. So we will have to see. Timbo has lost pretty frequently against Kevin's Protoss. Will he fare better against bbbbreed? And will he be able to use the knowledge that he may have gained from watching bbbbreed's series against Kevin? As he goes in for the scout, gonna drop a refinery on bbbbreed's gas. However, it's very low HP, so not really gonna be able to deny that for that long. If bbbbreed pulls a few probes, he can kill it pretty quickly. Now SCV is going to make its way back home. Probe going to chase it. And early Reaper out of Timbo, going for the expansion right away. Delaying his orbital, in fact. And yeah, even dropping a second supply depot first before starting that up. Probe gonna get the full scout of the main base. Not gonna spot anything too crazy. Might spot this Reaper, however. No, I don't think he spotted that. I'm gonna try to harass this SCV, but the second SCV comes back for the assist. And now Reaper gonna make its way across the map, and not gonna jump in just yet. Alright, there it goes. And the Stalker not ready yet, so this Reaper might find some damage, as that refinery did get cancelled. And one probe already going down. Two probes going down. bbbbreed gonna have to pull some probes, but that's not gonna work against the probe pulling king. And is he gonna get away? Oh no, the Reaper does meet its demise on these cliffs. Look at that. Oh man, that's brutal. But 3 probes, this is a decent pickoff. I think that's a pretty fair trade. And bbbbreed gonna be going once again for the Stargate. Where is it? In the main this time. And Timbo did spot it. I don't know if he clicked on it to identify that it is a Stargate, though. And judging by his reaction, I don't think he knows. We don't see an engineering bay going down or anything. Second barracks, I guess, is going to allow more marine production. And marines. Probably the best anti-air unit in the game. bbbbreed changing things up, though. Not going for Void Rays this time. Going for a Phoenix instead. And that's an interesting choice. I mean, you really need like at least 5 Phoenix to get any amount of damage done. So only 1 so far, and only 1 Stargate. So it's going to be a while. And I don't know if bbbbreed knows how to use Phoenix. You do have to use their graviton beam, whatever it's called, to lift up units. And then, of course, its other Phoenix friends can dispatch them to lifted units. But does bbbbreed know that? We'll have to see. As he's chrono boosting his Phoenix now, I'm gonna go for ground upgrade, so probably not gonna commit too heavily to the air, at least not yet, not in this stage of the game. And Timbo gonna be fortifying his wall, which is odd. Scan goes down to confirm Phoenix. Does spot that robotics facility as well. But going back to this, you don't really need a 2-layered wall against Protoss. They're not really going to be able to Baneling bust you or anything like that. But I guess that's it's just a place to put your supply depots. And Timbo is gonna get some missile turrets protecting his mineral lines. So I don't think these Phoenixes are gonna get too much done. Maybe they can lift up a tank and maybe get the tank, but I don't know if 3 Phoenixes are gonna be able to kill a tank in time. There's not too many Marines though, so that could bode well for the Protoss. So he flies in, gonna spot that missile turret, and gonna get the heck out of dodge. And yeah, he's gonna lift that tank. 3 Phoenix gonna start shooting at it, and yeah, indeed, going to get one. These Marines were not in position, so nice pick off there. Phoenix gonna rotate around, see if they can find any damage in the main base, but no. 2 missile turrets protecting the mineral line, and Marines here gonna be able to protect the siege tanks. So 1 siege tank kill is something, but probably not quite the damage that bbbbreed would have hoped for. Worker count. Very nice out of bbbbreed. He has just continuously been producing probes, and that is absolutely what you want to do in this game of StarCraft 2. Just keep making workers. Super oversaturated here, but he can transfer those to the 3rd any second now. 35 out of 16, so definitely need to get on top of that. bbbbreed floating a lot of minerals once again. Needs to throw down some more production facilities, perhaps, because he does have some more gateways on the way. He does have his Twilight Council as well, but not getting any upgrades. No blink or charge or anything. And once again, bbbbreed's rally points. I've seen this a lot in his Terran play. Normally, Terrans and Protoss, they kind of have their buildings like rally to the front of their base or something. But you do see out of bbbbreed specifically, his units are kind of just like chilling outside of whatever building produced them. And that's just going to be extra attention later on when he has to gather up his army. Scan going down from our Terran player as he is moving out with a lot of Marines and 2 siege tanks. I don't know if bbbbreed has enough for this, but going back to what I was talking about, bbbbreed now has to gather up his army, which is all here, scattered in his main. And meanwhile, Timbo just gonna very quickly demolish this 3rd base. 22 probes as well. And he's gonna keep it rolling. Gonna leapfrog the tanks up a little bit. And I think once he starts his onslaught, there will not be too much the Protoss can do. As he does fly in with his 4 Phoenixes. Gonna see if they can get any counter damage done, but no. The Marine reinforcement's gonna be enough to deal with those. And Timbo gonna push up into the natural of the Protoss player, and despite the defensive arc of the Protoss, these tanks in the back just shelling out so much damage. GG's gonna get called, and Timbo, the Terran, is gonna take the first game. Welcome back. This is game number 2 in this series between our green Terran player, Timbo Slice, and our orange Protoss, bbbbreed. Relatively standard game in the first game. Bio tank army against primarily gateway army for the Protoss, and Protoss just didn't have the proper defensive setup to deal with the marine tank push out of Timbo. And bbbbreed did try for a Phoenix opening, which didn't really get the damage he probably would have liked. All he got was a single tank, and that definitely set him behind a little bit. And his army not really being in position definitely hurt him in the defense last game. Maybe if he had his army positioned at his third already, he maybe could have taken a better fight with the siege tanks not fully in position yet. However, this is going to be a new game, so let's see if either of these players are going to change things up. Are they going to try something different? As the Phoenix was a bit of a deviation from the normal Protoss play we've seen of bbbbreed. Timbo once again opening with a very fast expansion. Gonna be getting his orbital as well. Probe coming out to... This is kind of a weird path, and that tells me he wants to make a proxy. Going back to his roots, perhaps a proxy Stargate, or no, maybe he's just going in. No, he is going for a proxy Stargate indeed. And now the Reaper's on its way. Stalker on its way as well, but it's going to be a little bit late. So let's see how the micro is out of both players. That's the Reaper. Once again, wasting his time. Okay, there it goes. Gonna hop on in. Stargate going down across the map. Couple of shield batteries. Reaper gonna start blasting away. Gonna be able to get one probe so far. 2 probes maybe? Can I get 2 probes? 2 probes? No. I think he had a chance, but decides to run away. And is he gonna get away? Ah! No! Only 1 probe going down this time. And the Reaper going down as well, so Timbo cannot be happy with that. Stargate gonna be finished. And is it gonna be Void Rays once again? Indeed it is. And scan going down. That's a very early scan, and each scan is a mule that's not used, which is approximately 300 minerals. So Timbo spending 300 minerals there just to confirm this space is coming up. But back at home, he doesn't really have too much anti-air. None, in fact. And so this Void Ray could just end the game. We'll see how long bbbbreed waits. And if Timbo starts to get any anti-air. But no, he is just macroing up. He is just content to play the solo mission. But bbbbreed, second Void Ray almost done. Is that going to be when he moves out, or is he going to wait for 3? And it looks like 2, maybe. No, he is still waiting. Now Timbo has a couple Widow Mines, which does make things interesting. Liberator on the way as well. And now finally the Void Rays go in, and Widow Mine does burrow, and what the? Oh, he unburrows, and now gonna lose both Widow Mines. It was weird. He had it burrowed. Not that one single Widow Mine would have done too much damage, but now 2 Void Rays uncontested in the natural, third one flying in as well, activating the prismatic alignment, which doesn't do anything to workers. Now 3 Void Rays going into the main base of the Terran player. Liberator comes out. That's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and bbbbreed going to tie things up with a very quick game number 2. Welcome back, folks, to game number 3 in this series. There are no brakes on this crazy train. We are just gonna keep on rolling. Things are currently tied up between our green Terran player Timbo Slice and his teal Protoss opponent bbbbreed. So bbbbreed tying things up last game with his signature proxy Stargate Void Ray build, and Timbo just didn't have the anti-air necessary to defend against that. So quick game number 2, and that brings us here to game number 3 on Jagannatha, one of the older maps. And most notably about this map are these speed zones in the middle and on the sides, which allow units moving through them to move quicker. As we can see, this probe going zoom right through that speed zone, and now it's back to normal. Once again, quick expand build out of Timbo. Very quick this time, I think. Was it quicker, or I'm not sure. And likewise out of bbbbreed, fast nexus here as well. This probe just gonna do a little bit of scoutaroonie, making its way downtown. Barracks is done. Orbital on the way. And is this probe gonna be annoying? Yep, they always are. And that's going to force Timbo to halt the production of this orbital just for a little bit, the command center rather. He's going to pull his SCV, and uh-oh, he's actually going to lose it. That should not happen. Ooh, I don't know what that move was, but that was pretty slick. Does get the probe. Saves both of the SCVs. Does delay this command center for a good 10-15 seconds, however. Stalker on the way, Reaper on the way. Not going to find too much this game probably because the Stalker is going to be done by the time the Reaper gets there. And factory in the main base. Double gas for both players, in fact. So what is going to be the follow-up here? Reaper going into the natural. Does not get any probes. But is gonna get out with his life. Gonna try to hop in. bbbbreed gonna be aware of his tricks, pulling his Stalker back, but not chasing the Reaper actually. So maybe he had an opportunity there. He's gonna hop back down to the natural. Might be able to get some damage. No, actually he wants to just get away. Which is an okay choice too. He doesn't know where the Stalkers were. So gets away with his life. And he can use this Reaper later on to scout or whatever. Second orbital on the way. We have a tech lab on the barracks, but nothing being researched just yet. We have a tech lab on the factory as well. And yep, that's going to be siege tanks. Second factory coming down as well. That's not something you see every day. Reaper gonna have to run away from that Stalker. But yeah, not every day do you see a 2-factory single barracks. So is this gonna be some kind of mech play? He is getting a Marine, but we don't see any stim or combat shields being upgraded. And we do see a second tech lab going down for the factory. And we do see an armory getting thrown down as well. That definitely smells like mech. But I'm still wondering what this tech lab is for. Maybe just to complete the wall? It's kind of a costly wall, however. The double gas going down in the natural as well, and yeah, that's most likely a mech build. Lots of siege tanks being built. Another factory going down as well. Still only on a single barracks. And bbbbreed, no proxy this time. However, he is going for Dark Shrine. In a very obvious location, so if and when Timbo decides to drop a scan here, he'll see that right away. Normally you do see Protoss players at least try to be sneaky about it, maybe like make it on the edges here or something, and like I said, there goes the scan. Timbo gonna spot that Dark Shrine right away, and he has plenty of time to prepare. Is he gonna get an engineering bay? Oh, he already has an engineering bay. Where? Oh, okay. Already has an engineering base, so he's going to throw down some missile turrets, and he should be pretty much safe against any Dark Templars. Second armory going down for double upgrades for his mech units. And this is an interesting build out of Timbo. Not sure how it's going to fare, but I am excited to see how this plays out. bbbbreed with his third Nexus coming down. Continuously making probes. I like that a lot out of bbbbreed. He is always making workers. But this is one thing I don't like, his units kind of just in random places. And that's how he lost the first game. He was not set up to defend his third. Lost that real quick. Again, his army just all over the place. Some there, some there. He's going for a warp prism drop now. Okay, that's weird. gonna morph it into the what mode is that? The warp in mode or whatever. Above the water where you can't really warp in. So he inches it up just a little bit, and is he gonna? No, he has to inch up just a little bit more. Okay, now finally he should be able to warp in. Wait, what? Okay. Not sure what that was about, but is going to warp in some Dark Templars. Timbo does have a missile turret in position, so I don't think he'll be able to get too much damage. bbbbreed, that is. However, if the DTs jump on the missile turret, which they do, but the scan goes down and all the DTs go down as well. 4 DTs for only 2 SCVs and a single missile turret, and it's definitely not worth it for the Protoss, who is floating so much money. Another scan going down into the main of bbbbreed. Doesn't spot a whole lot new, just gateways and stuff. Once again, bbbbreed with his really segmented army, third completely unprotected, and 3k minerals. Oh my goodness, bbbbreed, just throw down a bunch more gateways. You gotta spend your money. Timbo, curiously enough, doing pretty well in that department, playing with an off-race Terran, keeping his minerals relatively low, only 500. Of course, mech is a very expensive unit composition. Maybe that has something to do with it. Getting his 3rd base though. But bbbbreed going to be getting his 4th at the same time. So, all things considered, still pretty even. And scan going down to spot that 4th base. So Timbo going to be aware. Doesn't spot the 3rd, however, so maybe he thinks that's his 3rd, and maybe he thinks he's in a much better position than he is. Not that he's in a bad position, but bbbbreed has been on 3 bases for quite some time. Timbo gonna be getting his 3rd up as a planetary. No workers there just yet, but transferring some now. And like I said before, bbbbreed is continuously pumping out probes, and that's very respectable. The only thing is maybe change the rallies. It's oversaturated on this base, oversaturated on this base. So maybe change them to the new base. That's the only thing I can fault him for in that regards. Reaper makes its way in once again, and gonna finally lose its life there. But he does confirm this base. Now, I don't know if he really put it together how long it's been there. In fact, he doesn't see the Nexus, but I'm sure he can guess. And both players' supply pretty even. Timbo a bit behind in the worker count, but he does have double mules. Probably going to be a little behind on the economy, but mech is a very strong unit composition. Mostly Thors though, and Thors, you kind of need something in front of them to soak up the damage. Usually it would be like Hellbats, just because they're a mineral dump. Scan going down finally to fully verify the space's existence. And bbbbreed gonna try for some Warp Prism harass once again. Flies into a missile turret and loses that Warp Prism. And he says, dang it! You only have yourself to blame, bbbbreed. And does bbbbreed have any upgrades? Yeah, he does have his charge on his Zealots, which I think is the most important thing against mech, allowing the Zealots to close the distance. And Timbo is mostly just Thors. 4 random Marines in there. These siege tanks not really gonna come into play as they're just on defense duty. These two might. Depending if bbbbreed goes up this ramp, which would be ill-advised. And does Timbo spot that? Oh, barely not. Look at that. Barely not gonna spot the army of bbbbreed. His army kind of in position. Not the best spot, but now bbbbreed going in for the attack. Does not want to deal with this choke, so he's going to back up, regroup, maybe try for a different angle. And he's going to go up this ramp instead. But that's going to allow him to be hit by these tanks as well. He's going to back out of there, go for this fourth base, which he might get. Yes, he does. And then just back up, I think. Yep, backs up. And 2-2 for both players. bbbbreed going for some Colossus, which is not really the ideal unit against mech, and in fact he doesn't have thermal lance either, which is the very crucial, critical, super important upgrade if you're going for a Colossus, but I don't think he's really gonna commit too much to the Colossus. Gonna shift back into Immortals, which is the correct call. Immortals do massive damage against armored units such as Thors and siege tanks, and they have that barrier ability, whatever it's called, that soaks up some extra damage. Not really sure how it works entirely. I think it just activates on its own and then it soaks up whatever 100 or 200 damage, whatever it is. bbbbreed sitting on 5 bases already, and saturation on all his bases. Well, he could transfer some, and this base needs a little more, but bbbbreed is very rich, going for a 6th base as well. 87 probes, that's a fine number to stop at, which he has stopped. And yeah, the economy gonna be booming for the Protoss. The only thing that's questionable is gonna be the unit composition. I'm not really sure if these stalkers have much use. Zealot's gonna be fine, as they do rush and they can deal a lot of damage to Thors, but tanks are just so powerful. And bbbbreed gonna continue Colossus production once again. Is getting that thermal lance finally. Almost done. Scan goes down. Siege tanks are sieged, and this is not the fight you want to take. As these siege tanks dealing massive damage, but the Thors all pretty much dead, and now these siege tanks are naked. So GG is called, and bbbbreed is gonna take the 2-1 lead.